Hey everybody, I am Dr. Adam Kittai, Associate Professor of Medicine at Icahn School of Medicine in Mount Sinai in New York, here on behalf of CLL Society, interviewing my friend and international expert in CLL, Dr. Ghia. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, hi to everyone. I'm Paolo Ghia. I'm Professor of Medical Oncology at Università Vita-Salute San Raffaele in Milano, Italy, where I'm also directing the CLL program.
So today we're going to talk about a really exciting abstract that Dr. Ghia helped put together at ASH 2024. The abstract is titled CD19 CAR T cell therapy is effective in Richter transformation, a multi-center retrospective analysis by the European Research Initiative on CLL. So Dr. Ghia, so this was really exciting work. As we know, patients with Richter transformation have dismal outcomes typically, and it's really exciting to see that CAR T has potential benefit for patients of Richter transformation, especially in this large cohort study. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about the study?
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about this study. And as you well know, I mean, this study is really mirroring what you also published in a US-based cohort when you collected all patients, roughly 70 patients treated with the CAR T, patient with the Richter transformation. As we know, Richter transformation is a major possible outcome of a patient with CLL. Luckily, it's rare, but when it happens, it's difficult to treat clinical condition. And therefore, any new insight, any new investigational drug that can be used is, of course, very welcome. As we know, CAR T cells are now approved and widely used for many lymphomas, including diffuse large B-cell lymphomas. But they are not definitely approved for Richter transformation, and there are also very limited studies. As you already showed in your series, the use of CAR T can be effective also in Richter transformation. The peculiarity of our study is that we combine both cases from the US, but also from Europe. And the study was coordinated by the colleagues and friends from Israel. And this is a typical ERIC study. So the ERIC is the European Research Initiative on CLL, which is this large consortia of doctors and investigators all around the world, now spanning beyond Europe. We are covering now 5 continents. And therefore, we always like and keen to combine patients' data from all over the world in order to see really how reproducible also is any finding in different countries. And therefore, we collected 54 patients who were treated with of course, diagnosed with the Richter transformation and who were treated with the anti-CD19 CAR T cells. And in contrast with your study, for example, we had roughly 50% of the patients who were treated with investigational product, not only those on the market, but really academic products that are becoming somehow frequently used also in Europe. And the findings were that indeed, again, roughly 50% of the patients can achieve a response, either a complete response or a partial response. And those are, as we learn already since many years in CAR T cells, those are the ones that have a much longer expectation in terms of duration of response, because indeed they had a response and they will have a duration of response which will last roughly 2 years, which is definitely in large contrast with all the other patients, the remaining 50% of patients who do not achieve a clinically relevant response. And for those patients, the life expectancy, so the overall survival, is very short, in the order of few months. So that really indicating that Richter transformation remains a major issue when it happens. But with the CAR T, we can really prolong for those patients who respond in a really long fashion with at least 2 years. Some of these patients also underwent autologous transplant after that in order even to consolidate further the response, though the results were not so impressive, and the numbers were too low to really draw conclusions.
So something that really excited me about your study and my study was that we had seen responses to patients with Richter's transformation who had many prior lines of therapy, so median lines of therapy of 2, and also had classically porous features, suggesting that CAR T is agnostic for basically working even in the patients with highest risk Richter transformation, even though all patients with Richters have high risk. So that being said, a lot of the studies for diffuse large B-cell lymphoma are moving CAR T to earlier lines of therapy, where I think we should be considering for Richter transformation too. What are your thoughts about that?
Yes, indeed. In our series, we had a couple of patients also treated at the front line for Richter transformation. We have to remember that all these patients are by definition not first line, because they received, in most cases, treatment for CLL, several lines of treatment. So they've been anyhow exposed to BTK inhibitors, if not even BCL2 inhibitors, if not even to immunochemotherapy. So definitely, I think that, again, if we can prove in a study that CAR T are really beneficial for patients with Richter transformation, why not to use it as early as possible? Because it's like taking a shot, meaning that if it works, then you can have really a long and nice response. If it doesn't, then you can move to all the other treatment that still remains experimental, because for Richter transformation, we don't have really a standard treatment.
Really nice to see, Dr. Ghia, especially for these patients who don't have many great treatment options. So excited to see CAR T offered to them. Thanks.
Thank you.